Anyway, so on the back, I was a really big Beatles fan from about the time I was 2 or 3. So for my 6th birthday, I received a nice pile of Beatles records, and at school we had watched A Hard Day's Night. So one of the records I got for my birthday was Something New. And so if you had Meet the Beatles, which I had, it had an ad on the back that said Something New with songs from A Hard Day's Night. Well, all the songs from the A Hard Day's Night movie that I thought were great, like A Hard Day's Night, you know, I should have known better, like all the, you can't do that. None of those, none of the best songs from the movie, or maybe even any of the songs from the movie, are actually on Something New. So one of my other presents for that birthday, 6th birthday, was a $5 bill. So that night, I was all disappointed because the songs I wanted weren't on that. So my dad actually went back out to the record store and bought me the actual A Hard Day's Night soundtrack. And that was, you know, also my dad was a pretty cool guy. He would do, that's kind of par for my dad. So that's the story there.
Oh, he'll get a prize. Yeah. Chris, while we got you here real quick, just talk if you can real quick, because I mean, again, there's people going to be celebrating Record Store Day all this weekend, not only around the country, but overseas and everywhere. And to know that the nucleus and that the spark happened from here, can you just let people know, just a little bit briefly, just from that first year, from this thing coming into play to where we are now, seeing this thing grow and become what it's become. Talk a little bit about that.
About what the growth? Yeah.
From year one, yeah, not knowing what to expect, and now, holy shit, that type of thing.
Yeah, well, the first year we knew, just through there were about 200 stores in the US that kind of do things together, so we thought we could get them. But then we ended up with like about 500, and a really important thing happened. This guy, Michael Kurtz, who's the one who I gave the idea to, and he's the one who made all the phone calls and stuff to make it happen. He happens to be in an airport and ran into Billy Bragg. Like they were changing planes and passed each other, and he said, oh, hey, Mr. Bragg, I'm a big fan, blah, 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 and we're trying to do this thing called Record Store Day. And he said, oh, I just read about that in Mojo magazine. So Billy went back to England and went to his local record store, which is Rough Trade East. That was he I guess lives in that part of London, and said, hey, they're doing this thing in America called Record Store Day. Can I do something? Do you want me to do something here with you? DJ or play or just work behind the counter? So he brought it to England, and that gave us our little. You ever play Risk? Like that gave us our foothold in Europe, and from there, we were able to branch out in Europe and elsewhere. So it was just total chance meeting in an airport.
That's a pretty cool thing. So word of mouth to him, to Billy Bragg, on a plane back to overseas, talking to stores. So basically, up yours internet is the deal, right? Word of mouth.
Well, I think that we've got some internet going on right here. Are you streaming this?
Screw the internet.
You know.
Hey, there's a time and a place for everything. And with all jokes aside, tomorrow, the time and the place, it's starting 8 a.m., it's Bullmoose, it's being in the stores, it's, you know, people that care a little bit more about their music, that want a little bit more from their music. There's nothing wrong with convenience. I have devices like all you guys have, but to have that interest, to want to see liner notes or have an album cover picture or get more from their music, be able to put a needle down and hear an album kind of going from left to right, or whatever. If it's a Jack White record, it might be the other way around.
Right.
But to have that experience, that's what tomorrow's about. And to get back into the stores where you can find stuff that you might not necessarily come across if you're scrolling for 72 hours nonstop, you know?
Sure. Well, the difference, I think the different experience around here is that for us, Record Store Day is more like a give back kind of day, a customer appreciation thing, because we're lucky to have regulars all the time. So for us, like our experience of Record Store Day, and it was Jay Kelly, I think, our old Scarborough manager, who said this. It's like a class reunion. Not even Josh Douglas from our pro wrestler, but one of those guys was like, yeah, it feels like a class reunion when all of our like regulars come in all on the same day, and it's busy, but it's really fun. It's fun for us, you know. It's, as opposed to like trying to like, you know, flag people down and drag them in. It's more like, hey, you're coming in anyway. We're happy to see. You know, it's fun.
And let's remind people: be nice tomorrow. You know, we all see the videos of heading into, you know, Walmarts and Targets on Black Friday. Be nice tomorrow. Don't knock over little kids.
We never have that here. It's always really cool. I've seen so many things that people handed somebody else. I think you probably need this more than I do. That kind of stuff.